Good morning, everyone. It's Tammy here, and I want to share with you that this is the week we're going to change the world together. Many of you know that I have experienced bullying in the workplace and bully like behaviors in the workplace. And so this week I've decided that for Bell Let's Talk Day on the 26th of January, I want to be more than just a voice about mental health in the workplace. I want to be the voice that helps you be the difference so that you don't have to go through the toxicity and the emotional stuff that comes with it. So I want for us to get ahead of the game. I'm more of an upstream kind of thinker, and I love that we have downstream resources when after people are injured, and that there are resources to support people in their journey back to health. But here's what I want you to know: we can do better. We can actually get upstream. In fact, in my area where I help people talk about difficult things. Hey, Happy New Year, Dre. Thanks for popping in. Lovely to see you. In today's world, we actually can be the difference. And you have seen this for the last 2 years, all of this social uprising, all of this unrest in the world. We're going to be part of that change. And I am such an upstream thinker that I don't want you to suffer for one more day with one more coworker, with one more boss that is making you feel less than, that is making you feel unvaluable, that is making you feel like you can't contribute fully and be a part of the team. So in order to do that, though, I have to give you some tools and resources. And I know there's a lot of videos on these channels that support you with that. And if you haven't been watching on YouTube, you can join me at NurseMinder. I'm live right now on all of my platforms. So if you're in healthcare, you can head over to NurseMinder on YouTube. If you're looking for specific communication stuff, I have a second YouTube channel dedicated just to communication in the workplace. Just search my name, communication, it will come up. If you're watching on LinkedIn, follow me. I'm always posting about this. If you watch me on Facebook, join the Facebook group Leadership Communication with Tammy Dunnett. And let's work together to change the world, shall we? Now, you're thinking, okay, this sounds like a big deal. Maybe it's not for me. It's actually not a big deal. In fact, having taught communication skills for several years, having researched workplace bullying, and been my own, been the target in my own experience, I have figured out a few things that people just don't know. And it's not that this isn't available to us. It's that we're just not taught it. Simple. So I want to teach you now how you can be proactive in your own life to stop offensive workplace behaviors. Now, I don't know if I can add a comment to this live stream that's going to show up in all of these spaces where I am live streaming currently. So I'm going to come back, and it'll take me a few minutes to come through each of these and find the video, and I'll put the link below. But tammydunnett.com, you can head there. Or you can go tammydunnett.com/stop offensive behaviors. You're going to see that there is a 1-day, 3-hour live training happening on Wednesday. This is in honor of Bell Let's Talk Day, where we destigmatize mental health. It's a platform I never thought I would be a part of, and here I am. But as I said, I want to be more than a voice to share my journey back through recovery, back through surviving and becoming an ex-target. I think Survivor is great, but there's another level. And I want you at that other level where you feel empowered every day to be the difference in your life. So in this 3-hour workshop, I'm going to show you how you can connect from the heart so you can be seen for your true intention. Often we're not seen that way. We're seen as troublemakers if we bring something up. We are seen as people who can't get along with others. That's what I was told because I brought forward a problem. I want you to be able to connect in a way that your true intention is first and foremost. The second thing I want to teach you is how to create a safe place for open and honest discussion with the person you're struggling with. If you're anything like me, you may be thinking already, this is a lot, but we tend to make our issues really, really big. It's not just one person. It becomes the department. It becomes the organization. It becomes the building. We get so afraid of everything that's there. But if we come back to the heart of the relationship, it's the interpersonal problem that requires, it demands, it deserves an interpersonal solution. Not medications, not stress leave, not taking another training class. It's simply about how do I have this hard conversation with the person I'm struggling with in a way that I get to be seen. I'm going to show you that. And then I want you to find a way to get to resolution faster. I'm going to show you the pathway to get to resolution quickly so that you don't have to take this shit home with you anymore. You don't have to have it affecting your family, your income, you're looking for other jobs that are going to pay you half the money what you're worth, and you're going to lose all your seniority. You might have to move. That may not be necessary. That may not be necessary. I have been able to stay in a workplace where I thought I had a toxic bully for a boss, but they were just having a bad day. And once we were able to have the conversation and resolve our issues, it was good. It was good, and that's what I want for you. So I want you to get the inside scoop that others aren't talking to you about. That's what I want for you, okay? So if you're also like me, you've probably had people share all their best intentioned, well-deserving advice, such as, it's not your problem. You need to go to HR with that. Or keep your head down. Just stay under the radar. Just ignore it like the rest of us. I want to share with you a quick story about this ignoring piece and how impactful it can be when you have a voice and you say something. So I was working in a long-term care facility. So for those who are watching me on Nurse Minder, this is definitely going to resonate with you. Excuse me. And the students I had in the morning, I was taking over for another instructor. And in the morning, they were sharing who they were, what their patient assignment was, and we're in their last week of their 4-week rotation. So as they went around, it's my first day with them. Hi, I'm Susie and I have so-and-so. When one student mentioned who their assignment was, one of the staff members at the table was like, that's your assignment? It wasn't hidden under the breath either. It was loud. It was meant to be derogatory. At least that's how we all perceived it. And nobody said anything. That was the most fascinating thing for me being an instructor in this facility. As I watched around the table of all the other coworkers, nobody raised an eyebrow. Nobody lifted their head. Nobody even went, to indicate, maybe you shouldn't have said that. Nothing. Now, rightfully so, those students were afraid of this healthcare worker, and they did not go to her for any support. Instead, they would go down the hall and grab a support worker, I believe she was a healthcare aide, from another wing and bring her over. So the patients down their wing didn't have their healthcare aide while she had to come over and support our students. Well, I'll tell you what, that just wasn't going to fly with me. So I needed to get, really curious, something I teach in my program with my students, but I had to get really curious first to understand where was this coming from and why did nobody say anything? I was stunned at that the most. So I started with the staff and I inquired about this person's particular behavior on that morning to find out if this was a one-off or if this was an everyday normal thing. And everyone I talked to said, oh, we're just going to say Susan for now. That's just Susan. That's how she's always been. We just ignore her. And this is why we have people struggling in the workplace, because people don't have the confidence or the safety or the words to speak up. So I want to share with you what happened next. I went to my students to understand how it has impacted them. And they shared with me all those things I just shared with you, how they would not go to her for support, how they were scared of her. And then the third thing I did is I went to their policies, which were majorly outdated. It was like printed on paper from the 1980s, and it wasn't even current. So with all of that information with me, I then approached the healthcare worker who was so abrasive in her tone that morning. And I just simply shared with her. I said, hey, can I share an observation? Can I ask you a question? Of course, she was quite amenable to that. And I shared with her what I had seen that morning in rounds and how she'd responded to the students. And I just asked her, I said, do you know how that's impacted the students? And she's like, what do you mean? I was just joking. And I go, no, actually, they've been afraid of you for 3 weeks. They tell me that they don't come to you. And I retold the whole story about how they will grab somebody else. And that they found it really hard to hear. Let me tell you the result, because you're not going to believe this. This healthcare worker was stunned. She was shocked. She was in disbelief that this was the impact of her joking around with the students, because nobody had taken the time to pull her aside and simply say, hey, I don't know if you know this, but the tone the words, the timing, those all could be creating a toxic workplace. And you're putting yourself in a position to be called a bully. Now, that healthcare aide was so profusely apologetic to my students. She went over to them, she supported them, she made sure she was available to them. And at the end of the shift, the students were just like, what did you do? Because they had been worried and, like tiptoeing around her for 3 weeks. Do you know what happens when people are tiptoeing around others? They start to feel like they're a target of workplace bullying. They start to feel emotionally reactive. They start to come up with workarounds. They start to not practice by safe policy, right? By having the other healthcare worker come off her side, leaving those patients without their healthcare team. So there's things that happen as a result when we don't go upstream and stop the behavior. That is what I want for you to learn how to stop the behavior. If you are new into healthcare, you're going to have many moments where you will feel like someone is treating you less than, and they may not even realize it. And I know that hearing that sounds impossible. And I can promise you that this lady, I thought for sure knew she was being offensive because it was so rude what she had done. But she had no insight because for years, the staff just said, that's just Sally. We just ignore her. I'll tell you what that does for Sally. That doesn't give her room to grow. That doesn't give her a space to be something other than what they think she is, because they never explored it with her. So I am so passionate about being upstream and ending offensive behaviors before they become problems, before you feel like you need to take time off work, before you feel like you need to quit this job and go find another one where there's going to be another Sally. I want to stop it and give you the tools so you can do that. But you need to join me Wednesday, January 26th. Now, if you can't join the live, that's not a problem. For those who are registered, there will be a replay available, so you're not going to miss any content. But you do have to register, tammydunnett.com, and you'll see it's right there. You can sign up today and send it to your friends and make sure everyone is in here, because I tell you what, I'm on a mission to change the way relationship is done. And if you want to be a part of that mission, you want to be one of those superheroes, one of my conflict crushers, I call them, you need to be a part of this training. Okay? Now, I'm just looking at the website to see if there's anything else I can support you with. Yes, it is going to be, and this is also a fundraiser. So the proceeds will be donated to an organization of choice that is in alignment with supporting people in having the conversations or their mental health around workplace bullying. That is my passion. And I want to find an organization locally here that I can support that's doing work on the ground, and I can align myself with there. So this all will be donated. So I just want to share that as well. I'm going to gift up my time to support you, and you get to support yourself and to support an organization that supports others. So join me Wednesday, January 26th. Head over to tammydunnett.com, TAMMYDUNNETT.com today, and you'll see it's the first thing on the page. I think I better save that, make sure it's done, so that you can, I just saved it. I was just putting that change on there this morning. So you can join us, all right? And just know that you are more than. You are more than what they make you feel. You have so much to contribute, especially if you're a new nurse coming into the workplace. You've got all the current knowledge, all the current processes, and people, we need you to keep us current. For us older nurses, us experienced nurses who've been around for a while, you also need us to help show you the shortcuts, to help show you the things that you don't learn in the books. So we need to become one. We need to be a team. And the only way you get there is if you solve your problems that you're having interpersonally. And I can promise you, you can do this. It's not hard, but I'm going to show you the way. Okay? Hugs and kisses to you all. I love you for what you do. You're amazing. And I will see you all on Wednesday.